Hello traders, welcome to a new video. So today, continuing on our Sierra Chart Beginner Guide series. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about indicators in Sierra, which are called studies. We're going to go over how you can find studies, how you can put them on your charts, how you can change all the settings on them, and also how you can save presets or study collections so that then you can easily just apply them to any other chart that you're going to open in the future. So it's a lot more streamlined and it'll save you a lot more time in your analysis. Okay, so before we dive right in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It'll greatly help the channel to keep going. And without further ado, let's get right into it right after the intro. Okay, everyone, welcome. Hope you're all doing great. So, like I said, today's video is all going to be about studies, which is basically indicators in Sierra Chart. If you've missed past videos, you can go check my playlist here on YouTube. Just go down my past videos. This is already, I think, episode number 7 in this Sierra Chart series. So I've already gone over toolbars, opening different charts, etc. So today our only focus is going to be on indicators and how we work with them within Sierra. Well, I'm going to do a basic overview because, you know, this is a topic that you can literally talk about for hours. So I'm just going to try to keep it pretty straightforward and simple for those that are just starting to get familiar with Sierra charts. So over here, I just got my chart book that I've been using. I named it Example Chart Book. And you can see down here, I got 2 charts open. I have futures, E-mini and ES chart. This is a 3000 tick chart. And I have also a Binance chart for Bitcoin, US dollar tether, the 1 hour chart. And so you can see these charts are completely plain. This is like how it looks when you just open. Well, actually, if you open a brand new chart, like if I would just go here, I don't know, and let's just open a Euro US dollar chart. This is what a new chart will look like in Sierra, but as I've gone over in some of my first videos, this is like the default for how Sierra chart opens. But I just go to chart, draw types. It has us as open, high, low, close bars. I just set it to candlesticks. And so this is pretty much, and all this colors, the red and green candles, the white background, this is all my custom graphic settings that I have here under global settings, graphic settings. I have a whole video about this, but this is basically how I have all my charts by default. White background, red and green candlesticks. Here, let's rename this chart. Let's just call it Euro USD. Enter. Okay. So you can see, so we got 3 charts here, different time frames, different markets, because I'm going to show you how you can then apply different study things to this. So let's go to the first one, the ES. This is all live markets that are moving right now. So the first thing, and I actually went over this in my first video, you can see there's no price line. That to me, it's probably one of the most basic things that any chart should have. In Sierra, it's not standard on the chart. So I would suggest everybody, the first 2 indicators that I would always put on my charts that I do is I put a price line and I put a countdown for the bar closes. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, there's several ways you can open the studies. You can go to analysis, and right here, first option you see, it's called studies, or you can also do F6. It's a shortcut, or I also have it programmed. If I do my right click and I get my shortcuts menu here, I have it down here, studies, as one of the options. So in Sierra, there's always several different ways of achieving the same thing. So let's go analysis, click on studies, and now you get this window. So on the left side, this is all the studies that you have available. You know, I'm not going to go over in detail each and every one. When you guys have time, just go one by one, go down the list, see what you have. Sierra is super complete, so it's probably very hard for them not to have something that you're interested in. Plus, there's a lot of ways to customize things. I'm not really like an expert in programming my own custom indicators, but I know a lot of people do. There's people that sell different indicators that you can like add on here, or just free indicators that I share by the community of traders, etc. But basically, by default, Sierra has a ton of indicators. That's probably more than enough for any trader. So, as you can see on the right side, there's nothing. This is studies to graphs. So as you can see, we don't have any indicators added into our charts. So if I go down here, let's go and just add the first indicator to show you. Let's do the current price line. So you just go to the C. This is all alphabetical. Current price line. You highlight it, click add, and now you can see it's added on the right side here. So now that you have it on the right side, you can either click OK, and that activates it here. You can see it's a dotted neon green light here. Or if you don't want to just get taken out of that screen, you can, let me just take it off, remove. If you want to just click it, add, and then just click apply, and now you can see the indicator is here, and you still got this window open. Now, how do we customize this one? Well, like I said, I went over this on the other video, but I'm just going to quickly go over this. Whatever you have highlighted here in blue, if you click settings, then this brings you to the menu. This is all the screens for all the indicators have the same format in Sierra. You got a window with 3 tabs. The first one, settings and inputs. This is where you're gonna do all your adjustments for all the settings, different different values and things for your indicator. Under subgraphs, this is going to control all the aesthetics of the indicator, all the coloring. You can add, change the colors and locations of names of labels, etc. And the third tab is the alerts, which this one we're not really going to go into depth in here. This is where you can set different conditions. You can just write some different codes here. And this is how you can make custom indicators or create custom alerts or custom behaviors in your studies, which I'm not going to delve into here. We're just going to use the basic factory settings for all these indicators. Okay, so then here on the price line, I would go to subgraph. You can see it's this like neon green. So I'm just going to choose like a dark gray, apply. So now you can see it's a dark gray line, but now if we notice, it's only going from the last candle to the left side. I like to have the price line go all the way across the screen. So under draw style, I would just go down, and you can see there's a ton of options. And like I said, I recommend all the easiest way to learn, well, Sierra or any new program is just to practice and mess around yourself. So just go in here and look at all the different things you can do. But I'm gonna look here for an option that is called line at last bar left to right. Click apply, and now you can see the line goes across to both sides. And here, line style, I can change it. I can make it a solid line. I can make it alternate, which is just like a very fine dot. I like dash for this. I'm sorry, no, not dash. I like dot. And here I can change the thickness. You can make it thicker. You can make it thinner. Sorry, over here, like you can see, you can change the thickness. I can make it thicker. I can make it thinner just by changing all these things over here. So I just click OK. OK. And now I have a chart with the most basic indicator or study, which is going to be the price line. Now, like I said, the second study that I always like to add to charts is the countdown timer, to know how much is left on the clock or how much is left on the time, or if you're using a tick chart like I use for futures, then it's just the countdown of the number of transactions on the candle. So again, let's go to analysis, studies. So you can see I have one. And now let's go to the one that's called countdown timer. I'm going to add it, apply, and now you can see it comes up here. So I'll just click OK. I can click it and I can move it around everywhere. I always like to have it on the top right, but now I want to edit it. So I just go back to my studies window. I highlight countdown timer. I press settings. And now you can see the coloring. This will be the color of the letters. And the second one is the color of the background. I'm just going to put a background that's pretty much the same as my chart background. So you can see now it's sort of like it's just black numbers floating on the screen. I click OK. If you want to see other settings, go to settings and inputs. You can choose a transparent background. Let me see. Value. Display remaining time is seconds only. I have it as no. Okay. So now we got our first two studies, or our first two basic indicators on the chart here. One thing you'll notice over here on the title of the screen, you can see how it says current price line and some values, countdown timer and some letters and values. For me, I'm sort of like OCD when it comes to like organization, and I want to have my screen clean. So I don't like to have all these values and labels here on my chart. So the way I take those off, if you want to take them off, you go to your studies window, you access your study, and I put settings, and under subgraphs you can see these options down here. It says display subgraph, sub name and value global, display study name, display input values. If I just take off these three things and I hit apply, now all those letters disappeared from here. And I can go to countdown clock, countdown timer settings, and I'll do the same thing. I take off this three, I hit apply, and now all those values are gone here. And I always like to do that because then I have several indicators on my charts, and then I just have values going all the way sticking out here, like disappearing all the way across my screen, which to me is sort of annoying. So now you got your first two studies. And then again, you know, you can get other studies. Before I go into other studies that you can use and just some examples of different things you can do, you can see here you got some options. Like, let's say the current price line, I can move it down. Once you have several, you can move them up and down. This is important because some studies, whatever you have on top is going to have priority on the screen. So like if you have some studies that like overlay one another, if you have one on top of the other in the order here on your studies list, then the top ones are going to be on top of the others, etc. If I select, for example, I select the countdown timer and I put hide and I click apply, you can see that disappears. If I take hide off, click apply, the study is back here. It just moved to the other side, but I just move it here. I can also double click it, and this brings up some an options menu, and I can click lock. And if I click lock here and OK, now I even if I click this and I try to drag it, nothing is happening because I have it locked. So this is good if you have things like this floating on the screen and you don't want to move them by accident. You can just lock these things so you don't accidentally click them and drag them around. So let's go back to studies. What else? You can duplicate studies, which I'm going to show you soon how this is a very useful tool to use, especially when you want to make several of the same study. And then the remove, obviously that just takes the study out. If I just highlight any indicator study and I click remove, it takes it off. Now let's talk about this bottom part here. Save studies as study collection. So you can see here, there's a thing where you can assign any name you want. There's three options here. You can click save single, save all, or delete. And there's an option saying prompt to remove existing studies. So let's say, for example, that you know that you want to use a price line and a countdown timer for every chart that you use. So you want to have a little collection of those two studies so you can apply them to anything that you want. So what you would do is over here where it says save all, go and give it a name. So let's say for this example, I'm just going to name it price line and countdown. Okay, so I'm just going to name it price line and countdown. And then over here, this option, this is very important. I always mark this whenever I save any study over here. Make sure you click prompt to remove existing studies. The reason you want to click this is that if you're, let's say, working on another chart and you have a bunch of studies and things done to that chart, and then you go to try to add a study or a collection that you saved and you don't have this checked and you apply it, it can erase everything that you have set on all those things. So that's why you want to make sure that you always, I recommend you always have this clicked. So now we gave it a name and you can see how it has a little plus sign. When you click on this, it adds that plus sign. So any collection or study you save that has a plus sign, you know that that means it's going to ask you if you want to remove all the other studies that you have or if you just want to add the new ones. So I'm going to click save all. It's going to bring a window, save all studies using this name. Yes. Okay. So now I have my collection saved. You can do this again. Let's go back here. You can either click on a specific study and just put save single, give it a name, click here and put save single, or all the list of studies you have, you can just save all. So now if I go under analysis here, and you can see I have a ton, like this is all my studies and collections that I have saved. But look at the one we have. This is the one we just saved. It's right here. It's called Priceline Countdown Plus. So let's go into a new chart. Let's go into the second chart that I have here. This is a Bitcoin 1 hour chart from Binance. And you can see this is a new chart I opened, and there's nothing on this. There's no price line, no timer, there's no indicators whatsoever. So what's the use of the collections? Well, now if I go to analysis and I click price line and countdown, it's going to bring up this window. And this is why I told you it's important to mark off that thing that gives you the plus to check, because now if I put clear studies on chart, if I put yes, anything I would have added here is going to be deleted, and it's only going to add the collection I'm selecting. If I click no, it's just going to add my collection on top of what I already have, which is obviously what you want to do, unless you just want to override everything. So clear studies on chart, no. And see, now I have my Bitcoin chart, and I have the same saved price line study and the same saved countdown timer that we had from our study collection. I can go here on a third one. This is a Euro US dollar chart. This is a daily chart. I can go to analysis. I go to our price line countdown timer, clear studies on chart, no. And the same thing. Now I got my new my Euro US dollar chart with the countdown timer and the price line. Let's make this a 1 hour chart. You can see how the countdown timer is running there. So that's how you save a study collection on this, that you can then just very easily apply to any chart here. So let's go back to the ES. Let's just briefly go. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of the video. Like I said, you guys should just open this and just go through all the studies. If you have any questions about a specific study, you can leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get back. But let's see, for example, for E-mini, for futures trading, I use cumulative delta. So I can just mark here, cumulative delta bars, add. I can move it up or down depending what order I want it in. If I click apply, you can see how now I have my 3000 tick chart up here and a cumulative delta by volume chart here that I can also change the scales here. I can, if you go here, you can see there's a little highlight where I can make this wider or smaller, etc. So let's go to the chart analysis studies. Let's go to the settings on this to show you some things. So first thing, you can see the same thing with the values. You can take all these values out. Maybe let's just leave the study name. So now you only have the study name here without all the values. If I go to settings and inputs, under chart region, you can see how it says 2. It says 2 because chart region 1 is the main chart graph. If you add this study, by default, it's just going to go to the next chart region, which in this case would be 2. And over here, let me see. Okay, another, actually I'll talk about this here, which, because this is useful. I'll talk about this on the price line. under settings, this thing that it says draw study underneath main price graph, this is a good one to use, and I always usually apply it. And what that means when you select draw study under main price graph is that whatever studies on the screen is going to be behind your candlesticks or your bars, which is useful so they're not covering or cutting over all your candlesticks on your chart. Another thing with this that I hadn't mentioned is, as you can see, there's a thing that says short name. You can add whatever name you want to your studies here. For example, by default, this is called current price line. But if I go to settings and on the short name, I just write price line and I hit apply. Okay. Now you can see on the studies list, now this is called price line. So this is good, especially if you add several studies that are like of the same thing. You can add custom names to them so you can easily differentiate all the studies. And then let's go to cumulative delta. Let's go to settings. Like I said, under subgraphs, this is where you control all the coloring. You can see how the candles have sort of like a neon green border, which is going to be this open here. I can just go and make this a dark green. So now they all look green without that like really bright border, etc. You can just go down this list and just play around with whatever colors you want, etc. If I was going to add another study, let's say, let's go to studies. Let's look for, I don't know, let's look for MACD, for example, which is a very popular study. Let's add a MACD here at the bottom. I click apply. You can see now this opens on another region. So now if I go to studies and I click MACD settings, under the settings and inputs, you can see now this is under chart region 3, etc. And as you add studies, if they're not studies that are going to be overlaid on your main chart, they're just going to keep getting added on different chart regions. You can fuse different things in the same chart region, but sometimes that can sort of screw up your scale settings and stuff. So let's just remove the MACD, apply. Let's hide the cumulative delta. So now this is hidden, so now it's not showing. So now we're back here. Now let me just show you one last thing regarding the duplicate option. So let's say let's go for something very easy. Let's go for a simple, let's go to the euro US dollar chart, and let's just go to moving averages. Let's just add a simple moving average. So let's say you're doing like a intraday trading, and well, let's say you want an exponential. So let's add an exponential moving average. You can see it right here. It applied it in bright green here. And so let's go to settings, length, it's 10. Let's make this I don't know, let's make this a 21 period exponential moving average. And under let's put draw underneath main price graph, apply, so that way it's behind the candles. And then here, let's make this light blue, apply. You can see you have it right here. You can make it thicker or thinner. You can change it to be a dash or dots, etc. I'm just going to leave it as a solid line. And let's put short name, or under settings, Short name, let's just put it 21 EMA. Apply. And subgraph, let me take these things off so we don't have it showing on top all those values. Okay, so now you can see we have our Euro-US dollar 1 hour chart with a 21 period exponential moving average. And so now let's say that you like to play crossover and you like to have a 21 period and a 50 period. So instead of having to go here, add another exponential and adjust all the settings, you can just highlight this EMA, click duplicate. Now you have it twice. Click apply. So now you have this 2 times. So then on the second one, I just highlight it. I click settings. And now all I go is to settings. I change the value here, length to 50. Apply. I'm going to change the short name to 50. Hit apply. And in subgraphs, let's make this a very dark blue so we can distinguish it. Apply. And now you have your 2 EMAs, each one with a custom name, because if you would not assign it a custom short name, they would just be moving average exponential, and you would not be able to distinguish them. You'd have to click it, click settings, and go to settings to check what period it is. That's why adding custom short names is so useful, because that way you can very easily identify what indicator, what study it is if you have several of the same type. And now you can see on the chart here, now you have your moving averages with your price line, your countdown timer, etc. And like I said, I'm not really gonna keep going with this because, you know, you guys can obviously just keep exploring here, look at all the different indicators. There are Keltner channels, there's different things for moving averages, there's a ton of volume indicators. I'm not gonna delve still into volume profile. That's one of the indicators that you have a lot of different options on. I'm not going to talk about this in this video because I'm going to make a video entirely dedicated just to the volume profile indicator here. And but yeah, that's pretty much how you make studies. If you want to save a single study, let's say that you want to save just the 21 EMA. Well, you go here, you put 21 EMA. I'm going to click prompt to remove existing, and I'll click save single. It's going to ask for a confirmation. Yes. Okay. So now let's say if I go into my Bitcoin chart here and I want to put my saved study for my EMA, I'll just go to analysis and I have it right here. 21 EMA, click it, clear existing studies. I'm going to put no, because if I click yes, it's going to take off my timer and my price line. So I just click no. And now you got your Bitcoin chart with all your new indicator that you saved here, which, like I said, saving indicators and study collections is a really, really good time-saving tool, because especially if you're going to repeat the same indicators on different charts, it's just very easy to have it all saved with whatever presets, colors, settings you like. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the video as far as studies or indicators in Sierra chart. Obviously, this is a very deep topic. I recommend you go over the entire studies list and just play around with different options. Some indicators have a lot more advanced and different options, but again, you know, I'm just starting here with the bare basics to get you guys sort of going with the idea how you can add things, how you can edit them, customize them, etc. Okay, so in future videos, I'm going to go over into more detail of other topics, and I'll go over the volume profile study in a future video coming soon. Okay, so guys, again, if you want to keep supporting the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, share all this content with your friends online. That'll greatly help to just keep bringing out more new content. Don't forget to check out my social medias where I'm posting analysis, charts, and things throughout the week. And obviously keep checking YouTube, that I'm always adding new things throughout the week. And go to my website for more information on the trading courses that I offer also. Okay, so with that, I'll leave you guys. Thank you very much, and I hope this video has been helpful. Any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.